The crowd was loud. Thousands of voices mixed into a storm of noise. The arena, a giant circle of steel and dust, stood under a dark sky. Tall walls rose all around, keeping the people safe from what was about to happen. In the center of the arena was a cage. Inside the cage stood the apex beast. It was 10 feet tall, covered in thick, black armor-like skin. Its eyes glowed yellow, like fire. Long, sharp claws dug into the ground. Steam rose from its back. Everyone in the galaxy knew this creature. It had killed entire squads. Whole planets feared it. It was the perfect killer. A deep voice echoed through the arena speakers. Today, you witness death. The apex has never lost. And today, another fool will try. The crowd cheered. Some laughed. Some placed bets. Some whispered prayers. The cage door opened. But instead of a strong warrior in heavy armor, a young woman stepped out. She wore no armor, no helmet, no weapons. Just a black coat and soft boots. Her hands were empty. Her face was calm. The crowd went silent. No one moved. No one spoke. Even the apex beast paused. The announcer's voice cracked. "See. Challenger, state your name." She didn't answer. She walked forward, slow and steady, toward the center of the arena. The ground under her feet was stained with old blood. Claw marks from past battles were still fresh. Bones were half buried in the sand. She didn't care. She stopped 10 steps. Away from the apex, she looked up at it. Their eyes met. Then she whispered, "Don't blink." The creature roared. It charged forward with terrifying speed. Its claws aimed at her head. Sand flew in the air. People screamed, but she didn't move, and in that moment, something impossible happened. She raised one finger. The air cracked like thunder. A flash of blue light burst from her body, quiet, quick, and sharp like a blade. The apex stopped. Its body froze mid-air, right above her. Then it dropped. Dead. No sound, no struggle. Just silence. The arena was quiet. For the first time in history, the apex beast had fallen in less than 1 second. The crowd didn't cheer. They just stared. General Kairos, watching from the control room above, slowly stood up from his chair. His officers looked at each other in shock. "Replay the footage," he ordered. The screen showed the moment again, slowed down, zoomed in. Still, they saw nothing. No weapon. No contact. Just a flash of light from her hand. And the beast dropped. "That's not possible," whispered one of the engineers. "No human can do that." "She's not a soldier," Kairos said. "She's something else." Below, in the arena, the girl turned away from the dead creature and walked toward the gate. Security teams rushed forward, weapons raised. "Stop, hands up." She stopped. They aimed their rifles. She didn't move. "Who are you?" one soldier yelled. "You're under arrest." She slowly raised her hands, but before they could come closer, the lights above flickered. A strange hum filled the air. When the lights came back on, she was gone. Word of the event spread fast across the city, across planets, across military networks. Every screen showed the same headline: "Unknown woman defeats apex beast in one strike. Nitrogen monoxide tech." No trace. People were confused. Some were afraid. Others believed it was fake. But those who were in the arena, they knew the truth. They saw it with their own eyes. In the lower sectors of the city, deep under the surface, a group of rogue hackers gathered around a holoscreen. "Rewind that moment again," one said. "She doesn't show on our ID scans." "No face match. No DNA tag," said another. "Whoever she is," the leader whispered, "she's not from this world." In a dark room far away, a man in a white lab coat stared at the footage. He leaned back in his chair, sighed, and picked up a secure cum. "She's alive," he said. "Project Echo 7 is active." The voice on the other end replied, "That's impossible. Echo 7 was terminated. No, the man said. We only thought she was. Back in the arena, the apex beast's body was being lifted by machines. Its skull had no damage, no signs of trauma, heart failure. But how? The arena doctor looked confused. It's like its brain just shut off. No blood, no break. It just stopped. Like it was turned off, someone whispered. The crowd outside was still standing, hours after the event ended. A child tugged his mother's sleeve. Mama, who was she? The woman shook her head. I don't know, baby. Will she come back? The woman looked at the dark sky and whispered, I hope not. That night, in a quiet alley, the girl stood alone under a street lamp. Her eyes glowed faintly, not human. Her fingers twitched like they remembered something painful. She looked up at the stars. They're coming, she said softly. A small device in her coat beeped. A message appeared. Target locked next apex. Beast moving to Sector 17. She didn't smile. She didn't frown. She just walked into the shadows and disappeared. The room was cold. A steel table stood in the center. Around it, 5 officers in black uniforms stared at the giant holoscreen on the wall. The screen replayed the arena footage again. The woman walked forward. No armor. No weapon. One flash. The apex beast died. No one understood how. General Cairo stood in the back of the room, arms crossed, his face dark with thought. Pause it, he said. The screen froze. The image showed the woman's face. No fear. No anger. Just silence. Run her through the military database again, Kairos ordered. The AI assistant replied, no match. No identity, no birth records, no known implants. Facial structure does not match any known citizen of this system. Kairos turned to his second-in-command, Captain Vera. Nothing? Vera shook her head. She has no name, no ID, and no digital shadow. It's like she doesn't exist. Everyone exists somewhere, Kairos said. But she doesn't want to be found. Vera replied. At the same time, across the city, in a dark surveillance hub, the Galactic Security Network was also investigating her. A man with wires on his scalp sat in front of 10 blinking monitors. She's not in the human database, he muttered. Let me check alien registries. He typed quickly. Still nothing. She's invisible. He leaned back in his chair and whispered, she's not just hiding, she was erased. Deep underground, in the ruins of an old science lab, red warning. Lights blinked slowly. A survivor, old and gray, limped through the broken halls. He carried an old holophoto in his hand. It showed a young girl, barely 16, standing in a white jumpsuit. Behind her, scientists in black coats, smiling proudly. The caption read, Project Echo 7, the future of controlled evolution. He stared at her face. It was the same woman from the arena. She lived, he whispered. They couldn't stop her. His hand trembled. He remembered the night everything burned. 10 years ago. The lab was alive with energy. White floors. Glass walls. Scientists shouting commands. In the center chamber floated a metal pod. Inside it, a teenage girl, unconscious. Tubes ran through her arms and back. Her heartbeat echoed in the lab. She's ready, the lead scientist said. Activate sequence. Electric. Light flooded the room. The girl's eyes opened, bright blue. Glowing. Then everything went wrong. Screams, fires, explosions, one by one. The scientists dropped. Some said she used sound. Others said it was pressure. No one really knew. She escaped that night. Everyone thought she had died in the explosion. But she didn't single quotes to. She survived. She vanished. Until now. Back in the present. News of the arena incident spread across military and alien networks. They all had one question. Who is she? Some called her a god. Some called her a ghost. Some believed she was an illusion. But those who knew stayed quiet. Inside the military base, Captain Vera entered Kairos's private Office, we found something, she said. KYR. OS looked up. Speak. Our satellite picked up strange activity near the ruins of the old genetic research labs. That place was destroyed. Apparently, not all of it. Cairo stood. Prep a team. I want to know what's in those ruins. Meanwhile, far from the city, the woman, Echo, stood on a mountain cliff. The wind pulled at her coat. Her eyes scanned the valley below. Fields, roads, a small settlement, peaceful. But something was coming. She could feel it in her bones. Presence. Her skin glowed faintly, not normal human skin. It reacted to pressure in the air, changes in gravity, and energy pulses from miles away. A soft beep came from the device on her wrist. Another signal. Another apex beast. But this one was different. Bigger. Smarter. She turned away from the edge and began walking down the slope. As she moved through the forest, she heard footsteps behind her. She didn't turn. Stop following me, she said. The footsteps stopped. A man stepped out of the trees. Mid-40s, ex-soldier. He had a scar across his chin and wore old combat gear. I just want to talk, he said. She didn't answer. I was there, he continued. 10 years ago, I saw you in the lab. You saved my daughter. Echo finally turned. You were the one hiding in the observation deck, she said quietly. He nodded. You could have killed me, but you didn't. I wasn't made to kill, she said. Not at first. He stepped closer. They're hunting you. I know. They'll send ships, drones, everything. I'm ready. He hesitated, then said, Why did you return? You could have stayed hidden forever. She looked up at the sky. Because they made others. Like me, and now they've been set loose. At the ruins of the lab, Kairos's team moved carefully. Ash covered the floor. Burned files. Broken machines. Then they found it. A sealed vault door, half buried under rubble. Inside, a single working terminal. Captain Vera connected it. Lines of code lit up the screen. Echo 7, Vera read aloud. They opened the last video log. It showed the girl in a white room, hooked to machines. A voice spoke in the background. She is different. She doesn't follow commands, but she learns, she adapts. If she survives, she may become something new. Vera's eyes widened. She wasn't just a weapon. She was a test. A test for what? Kairos asked. For control, for power, for evolution. Back in the forest, Echo sat by a quiet stream. She touched the water. Her fingers left glowing ripples. The ex-soldier sat nearby, sharpening his knife. They're afraid of you, he said. They should be, she replied. You killed the apex beast in 1 second. How? Echo didn't answer right away. Then she said, it wasn't just speed. It was precision. My mind finds weak points faster than any computer. My body reacts before thought. Like instinct? More like calculation. Perfect. Fast, deadly calculation. Sounds lonely. She looked at him. It is. In the sky above, satellites tracked her. General Kairos stared at the feed. She's moving east. Towards Sector 17. Vera frowned. That's where the new apex signal came from. Kairos nodded. She's hunting it. That night, Echo reached a small abandoned station. The air was thick with strange vibrations. Inside, walls were clawed. Machines broken, blood on the floor. But no bodies. She moved silently, scanning the shadows. Then, a low growl. The new apex. It stepped into the light. This one was different, armor covered. 4 arms, glowing red eyes. Smarter. It didn't attack. It studied her. Then it spoke. You smell familiar. Her eyes narrowed. We were made in the same place, the creature said. You're Echo, it growled. I'm Apex 9. She stepped forward. I've ended others like you. I know, it said. That's why I've been waiting. Suddenly, the lights blew out. The walls cracked. Screams echoed from deep inside the station. The apex vanished into the dark, and Echo whispered to herself, "It's starting." The station lights flickered. The hallway was filled with broken screens, and the smell of blood. Echo stood still. She could feel it. The Apex 9 was still here. It didn't just want to fight. It wanted to talk first. That was dangerous. No Apex had ever spoken before. No Apex had ever waited. But this one was made differently. It wasn't just a weapon. It knew her. And that meant one thing. They came from the same place. 10 years ago. Classified facility, room 0, a cold white chamber. Flat walls. No windows. No sound. Inside, a girl sat with wires in her skull and glowing eyes staring at nothing. She didn't cry. She didn't speak. She listened. A voice echoed in her ears, soft but cold. "You are not human. You are better. You are designed to obey." Every day the same voice. Every day new tests. Pain, light, speed, sound. They pushed her past the human limit. She learned to move faster than cameras could track. She learned to kill without touching. She learned fear. But not hers. Fear of her. And then one day, something changed. A boy was brought into the chamber. He had red eyes and metal plates in his arms. He didn't speak either. The scientists watched them. Both. Echo-7, Apex-9. Twins of war. They trained side by side. But one day, during a joint test, he attacked her. No warning. No command. Just rage. She fought back, broke his arm, then held back the final blow. The scientists were shocked. She disobeyed the kill order, one whispered. She chose not to kill. That's when they knew she was different. Not just a weapon. A mind of her own. And minds of their own were dangerous. Present day. Sector 17, abandoned outpost. Wind howled through shattered windows. Echo moved through the hallway like a shadow. Her footsteps made no sound. Her eyes scanned every corner. Then a voice echoed behind her. "You remember me now, don't you?" She turned. Apex 9 stood near the stairwell, taller than before. Stronger. Half machine, half beast. But the eyes, still the same from the lab. Red. Angry. "I never forgot you," Echo said. Apex-9 smiled. "Of course not. We were family. You tried to kill me. I was made to test you, and I failed." He stepped closer. "But now, I'm the final test." In the orbiting satellite station above the planet, General Kairos watched the energy readings rise. What the hell is that signal? Vera stared at the screen. "It's not a machine. It's a pulse. From who?" "Echo and the Apex." Kairos narrowed his eyes. "They're linked. Like they were programmed to find each other," Vera said. Kairos turned to the comms officer. "Send a drone strike. If we wait, we lose control." "But sir, now." Back on the ground, Echo lunged forward, moving faster than light. Apex 9 dodged, just barely. Their fight shook the station. Steel cracked. Floors bent. Walls crumbled. They weren't just strong. They were evolved. Apex 9 roared. "They made us to be weapons, Echo. But I learned something after they threw me away." He slammed his fist into the ground. The station's floor split open. "I don't need them anymore." "You never did," she said. "But I like what they taught me." He growled. She vanished, reappeared behind him, kicked his spine. Apex stumbled, but he laughed. "You're still holding back," he said. "Because you were once my brother." From the sky, 3 drones appeared. Metal birds of death. Locked on target. They fired. Missiles screamed down. Echo saw them coming. She had 3 seconds, but she didn't run. She slammed her palm into the ground. A pulse exploded from her body. Blue wave of energy expanded outward, crushing sound, heat, and metal. The missiles that detonated in the air. All 3 drones burst like fireworks. The station shook. Apex 9 stood slowly, eyes wide. "That's new." She said nothing. but her skin glowed brighter. Inside her body, deep beneath bone and flesh, a living system ran. A micro-core reactor, designed by scientists. Modified by her. Most soldiers used implants. Echo was the implant. Her blood was a network. Her mind processed data at light speed. And now, her power was growing too fast. Back in the military base, alarms blared. Sir, her energy level just jumped past red line. She's going critical. Vera shouted. Kyro slammed his fist on the desk. She's going to destroy the whole region. But what if she can win? Vera asked. She's not on our side anymore, Kyro said coldly. She never was. Echo stood over Apex 9's fallen body. His armor was cracked. Wires sparked, but he smiled through the blood. You think this is over? He asked. Echo narrowed her eyes. Then he reached into his chest, pulled out a chip, and crushed it. Too late, he whispered. They've all been activated. Echo froze. All? She repeated. There were more than just us, sister. You knew that. You felt them. Her eyes widened. There are 7 more, he said. And one of them is stronger than both of us. In the distant dark corners of the galaxy, signals began to light up. Coded messages. Buried weapons. Sleeping monsters. Waking. Echo dropped to her knees, not from pain, but from the truth. She hadn't stopped the danger. She just started. The countdown. Later that night, the ex-soldier who once followed her found her sitting by a burning tree. He didn't ask questions. He just sat beside her. After a long silence, she said, There are others. Like me. Worse than Apex 9. He nodded slowly. Can you stop them? I don't know, she whispered. Will you try? She looked up at the stars. I have to. In the shadows of the station ruins, a small camera blinked. Someone had been watching. Not the military. Not the aliens. But something else. A hidden group. Unknown. Silent. Old. Their leader watched Echo's image flicker across the screen. So, he said with a smile, the Echo lives. The stars above flickered. On a silent planet orbiting a red sun, a machine woke from its sleep. Its eyes opened, twin red circles glowing in the dark. Its body uncurled from the metal shell around it. Limbs clicked. Servos hissed. It had been asleep for 10 years. Now, it was time. The signal had come. The same signal Apex 9 had sent before his death. One word. Awaken. Far away, Echo stood on a cliffside, staring at the sunrise. Her body was still glowing from the last fight. Energy ran through her skin like lightning. Under glass. She was quiet, but her mind was racing. 7 more. 7 like her. Not all human. Not all stable, some twisted. Some forgotten. Some angry. She had known this day would come, but not this soon, and not alone. The ex-soldier stood behind her, holding a piece of old gear. He looked at her carefully. You haven't slept in days. I don't need sleep, Echo said. You're burning up, he replied. I'm evolving. He stepped closer. You're not a god, Echo. I know, she said. That's the problem. In orbit, General Kiros paced across the command deck. Screens buzzed with data. New signals were appearing, across sectors. Across systems. Captain Vera stared in disbelief. 4 signals confirmed. 2 on the edge of alien space. 1 on a human colony. 1 in the outer void. Kairos clenched his jaw. What about Echo? She's tracking them, but she's not reporting to us anymore. She was never one of us, Kairos muttered. She was just the first. Vera looked at the blinking red dots. If one Echo caused this much damage, Kairos finished her thought, then 7 could destroy everything. On a desert moon, a massive door opened beneath the sand. A creature crawled out, long arms, sharp limbs, glowing silver skin. It didn't roar. It didn't speak. It just moved. Fast. Deadly. Free. Back on Earth's outer colony world. Children played near a river. One child noticed something strange floating downstream, a box, smooth and silver. He reached out to touch it, but before his fingers could grab it, the box opened. A blue eye blinked inside. It scanned the child's DNA. Then closed. The child ran. The box sank. And under the ground, something began to pulse. Echo and the soldier moved through a ruined city. Tall buildings leaned sideways. Vines had grown over streets. Machines rusted in silence. The world had been abandoned long ago after the first apex attack. Now Echo returned, not to fight, but to find something. She walked to an old elevator shaft. A broken sign above it read, "Project, Lockwall Level 0. She stepped inside. The soldier followed. The lift creaked as it dropped into the earth. Level O was not on any map. It was built before the war, before the fall, a hidden vault of secrets. When the doors opened, dust filled the air. And then lights clicked on. Rows of capsules lined the chamber. Inside, frozen bodies. All looked human, but none were normal. Cybernetic spines, reinforced bones, metal veins under skin. Experiments. Failed. Soldiers. Echo walked past them slowly. "They tried to copy me," she whispered. "None survived." She stopped at a small control station and tapped a code into the panel. A screen flickered and a face appeared. A woman in a lab coat. Dr. Kelna Farrow. "Echo," the recording began. "If you're watching this, they're waking up." The doctor's voice shook with fear. "You must understand, not all of them are like you. Some didn't grow minds, only rage. Unit 4, Zero Void, vanished before we shut the project. Unit 6, no face, no language, pure instinct. Unit 2, the screen glitched. Then returned. Apex 9 wasn't the worst. You were our only hope to stop them. You had balance, control, you had a heart." The recording ended. Echo stood still. The soldier looked at her. "What now?" "We hunt," she said, "on the edge of alien-controlled space." Diplomats received a strange message. It was not in any language they recognized, but the message carried coordinates. A warning, and something else. An audio clip. It was the roar of something massive. Something waking up. Echo stood in the open field now. She raised her hand. Her body pulsed with light. A signal went out, directed into deep space. A code only the other units would understand. A challenge, a threat, or maybe a goodbye. The soldier stepped beside her. "What did you send?" "A beacon," she said. "If they hear it, they'll come to me." "Is that a good idea?" "No." "Then why do it?" "Because I'd rather face them here than let them reach the colonies." In a dark crater, a tall being opened its eyes. This one was different. Wings, hollow bones. A voice like radio static. It whispered a single word. "Echo." Then flew into the stars. General Kairos watched the incoming transmissions. His command room was full of noise, screams from outer stations, static from distant ships. Vera reported, "We lost contact with Colony LX4, and outer rings are being evacuated." Kairos stared at the screen. "They're not just monsters. They're her brothers and sisters," Vera said quietly. "No," Kairos replied. "They're war machines. She's the last one with a soul." In an underground room, Echo stood in front of a wall of data. She opened a live channel. A voice answered. Cold, robotic, sharp. "Echo." It was Unit 3 coding name, Vex. "You're not supposed to be alive," it said. "Neither are you," she replied. "We've been waiting." "For what?" "For you to join us or fall with them." "I'm not part of your plan." "No," Vex said. "You're the mistake that learned how to feel." Echo ended the call. She turned to the soldier. "They want war," she said. "Then give it to them." "No," she replied. "I'll give them something worse." She looked up. And For the first time in years. She smiled. Smoke floated above the dead forest. Black trees stood like burnt matchsticks. Wind whispered through the hollow trunks. No birds. No life. In the center of the field. She stood. Echo. Alone. Her coat blew in the cold wind, but her body stayed still. Her eyes glowed softly, not with anger, but with focus. She had come here for one reason. Unit -6 was near. One of the forgotten Apex projects. No name. No mind. Just pure violence. Hours earlier, she had received a pulse signal, a strange, broken frequency not used in over a decade. Not human. Not alien. It was something else. Something familiar. She decoded it in seconds, and the last word in the signal chilled her more than anything. It was her own name, Echo. Now, she waited in the ashes of the old battlefield, knowing it would come. Her sensors picked up movement. Fast, wide steps. Heavy. Then nothing. Echo closed her eyes. She didn't need to see. She needed to feel. Suddenly, the ground shook. From the north. A blur of claws and rage smashed through the trees. 7 feet tall. Covered in black armor, 6 arms. No face, only a skinless skull, and a wide mouth. Unit -6. It roared like a storm. But Echo didn't move. Its claws came for her throat and stopped. Mid-air. As if frozen. The air around her shimmered, high above. Hidden drones watched everything. Inside a command ship in low orbit. General Cairo stood in front of a hologram. Pause, he said. The drone footage froze. Captain Vera stared at the screen. Did she just stop that thing without touching it? Kairos nodded slowly. I've seen this only once before. 10 years ago, in the lab. Vera whispered. This is what she was designed to do. No, Kairos replied. This is what they were afraid she could do. On the battlefield, Unit 6 struggled in place. Echo opened her eyes. Her pupils now looked like spinning circles, not human at all. She raised one hand slowly, and the creature rose with it. No sound. No effort. Her mind held it like a child's. Toy. Unit 6 screamed, but only in pain, not fear. It had no fear. Only hunger. But Echo reached deeper, past the bone, into the hidden layer, the neural net. She found the pulse signal embedded inside it. The control core. She gripped it with her thoughts. Then snap. Unit -6 dropped. Lifeless. She exhaled. It wasn't the fight that tired her. It was the control. In the orbiting command ship, a technician gasped. I just saw a neural feedback loop crash from orbit. That's impossible. She crushed the control core from the ground, Vera said. Kyros clenched his jaw. She's not just fighting them. She's disabling them permanently. Vera looked at the general. Then maybe we should stop fighting her. Kairos shook his head. Or maybe we let her do what we can't. In the forest, Echo walked toward the fallen apex. She scanned the body. No tech link remained. Its core had melted, just like Apex-9 single quotes S. She was getting better at it. Faster. More accurate. But there was a problem. Every time she did this, it changed. Her. She could feel it. Her fingers shook. Her skin hummed. Her heart slowed to unnatural beats. Her human parts were adapting to her Apex systems. Or maybe her Apex parts were erasing the human ones. The ex-soldier met her at the forest edge. His boots sank in the ash. You did it again, he said quietly. Echo nodded. Didn't even lay a finger on it. I don't need to anymore. He looked at her eyes, still glowing, spinning. Are you okay? She didn't answer at first. Then said, I don't know. He sighed. How many left? 5, maybe 6, if they haven't awakened more. Do you need help? I need time, she said. He handed her a small device. This came through the old human relay. It's for you. She scanned it. It was a message from someone she never expected. Dr. Kelna, Pharaoh. In a hidden bunker under the ruins of planet Vesra. The doctor recorded her message. Her voice trembled. Echo, if you're hearing this, I made a mistake. We all did. We thought control meant safety. We tried to program the future. But the future didn't want to be programmed. You were the only one who evolved beyond it. The others will resist you. They don't know what mercy means, but you do. Don't fight them to destroy them. Fight them to free them. The message ended. Echo looked at the ex-soldier. I didn't come here to win, she said. Then why are you here? To release them. Miles away, on a broken moon, another Apex unit activated. This one floated. Instead of walking, its body was pure. Energy wrapped in metal threads. Cody name. Drift. It had no voice, but it heard Echo's signal. And it was coming. Echo stood on a mountain ridge, watching a city in the distance. The next Apex was there. Hidden in the population. She couldn't just destroy it. Not this time. She had to extract it carefully, without harming others. That meant using the part of her no one had trained, the part they couldn't understand. Her mind. She entered the city under a false ID. Her face changed slightly. Thanks to nanits in her skin, she looked like a traveler. But inside her brain, maps formed in real time. She could hear vibrations. Taste frequencies, smell data signals. That's how she found it. In a tower, disguised as a human man. Apex Unit -4. CODENAMED. Lure. Its job was infiltration. Mind games. Mental traps. She walked into the building and pressed the elevator. The door opened. Before she touched it, he was waiting. Hello, Echo, he said, smiling. You remember me? She asked. Of course, we were born together. You're not hiding very well. I want to be found. They rode the lift in silence. At the top floor, he stepped out first. She followed. He turned. Do you plan to shut me down? No, she said. I plan to talk. For hours, they sat across from each other. They didn't fight. They didn't scream. They linked. Mind to mind. Apex to apex. He showed her his memories. What the scientists did. How they forced emotion into machines. How it twisted them, she showed. Him the child she saved. The people she didn't kill. The life she chose to protect. In the end, he broke. Tears streamed from his artificial eyes. I don't want to be this, he whispered. You don't have to, she said. And without force, without pain. She shut him down. Gently. Like closing the eyes of a sleeping friend. Outside, the ex-soldier waited with the evac team. Echo stepped into the light. Did you win? He asked. No, she said. I helped him lose. In orbit, General Kairos received the report. No damage. No deaths. Target offline. No violence. Vera looked shocked. She rewrote it, without code. She used empathy. Kairos muttered. Then paused. And added, something no weapon has ever had. Later, Echo stood on a cliff again, just like before. But this time, she didn't feel alone. Somewhere out there, something had changed. One apex free. 4 to go. And now, others were watching, because the galaxy had seen enough war, and Echo was showing them another way. The stars above were quiet. But something was coming. A massive object moved across space, slow and steady. It wasn't a ship. It was a body, bigger than any apex before, older, covered in scars and armor grown like scales. This was Unit 1, the first apex, the prototype, the strongest. The one they locked away in the dark, long before the others were even born. They called him King. On a hidden listening station near the void line, alarms rang. A technician stared at the screen. Something's moving in the dead zone. Pirate. Ship? No. Bigger. Way bigger. They scanned it. The system failed. Then came a voice. Not over the radio. Not through sound, but directly into their minds. It said one word. Echo. The technician dropped to his knees, nose bleeding. Shut it down. The officer screamed. Too late. The signal had already reached her. Far across the system, Echo sat near a silent lake. She had just shut down her third apex sibling. No battle. No fire, only connection. She had shown it memories of kindness, and it had collapsed into tears. But now, she looked up. She felt something cold crawl into her mind. She stood fast. The ex-soldier beside her noticed the change. What is it? Her voice was low. He's awake. Echo didn't explain that. She just walked. Faster than before. No map. No plan. Only instinct. Because Unit 1 wasn't like the others. He wasn't built to follow orders. He was built to test limits. And when he failed, they didn't kill him. They locked him in space. Now he was free, and he remembered her. Inside the command ship, General Kairos was silent. Vera stood at his side, pale-faced. "Sir, this is different." Kairos nodded. "I know, it's him." "You mean the one they erased from all records?" "Yes," he said. "The monster they never told us about." Vera looked at the incoming data. "He's not coming for the colonies," she whispered. "No." Kairos said, "He's coming for her." Echo reached an abandoned station orbiting a dead moon. She stood at its edge, watching the dark sky. The soldier followed, confused. "Why here?" "This is where they trapped him," Echo said. "Trapped? Who?" "Unit 1, the king of monsters." The soldier froze. "You mean the original?" She nodded. "I thought he was just a myth." "No," she said. "He was the first thing I ever feared." Years ago, when Echo was still young, still in training, she heard of a failed experiment. The scientists whispered about it in fear. A being who learned too fast, adapted too well, spoke before it was taught to speak. It called itself king. It refused orders. It broke its cage. And when they tried to kill it, it laughed. Now, as Echo watched the sky, a shadow moved above the stars. Unit 1 descended. No engines. Just gravity. He landed without a sound, a mountain of flesh, steel, and thought. His eyes glowed with ancient light. He looked at Echo. And smiled. "I remember you," he said. The soldier aimed his weapon. "Back up." Echo raised her hand. "Don't. He's not here to kill." "Are you sure?" "No," she whispered. "But he's not like the others." Unit 1 stepped forward. The ground shook. His voice was deep, not just in air, but inside the bones. "You were their favorite," he said. "I broke free," she replied. "No," he said. "You were meant to." Echo narrowed her eyes. "What?" "You were Plan B. I was Plan A. They locked me away. And then they made you." Echo stepped back. "I'm not part of their plans anymore." "But your soul still wants to save them," he growled. "Why?" "Because someone has to." He looked at the soldier beside her. "A human?" He said with a grin. "You travel with prey." "He's not prey." Unit 1 bent down and sniffed the man. "He smells like fear." The soldier didn't flinch. "That's what courage is," Echo said. "Being afraid, but staying anyway." The giant sat on a rock, his size shaking the ground. He looked at Echo, calm now. "They made us all weapons, but I chose not to serve. I wanted to be free." "Free to do what?" "To watch, to wait, to see if any of us could grow a heart." He pointed at her chest. "You did." There was silence for a long moment. Then he said softly, "You came to fight me?" "I came to stop what's coming." "There's more?" "Yes, one left is still hiding in deep space." Unit 1 nodded. "Then you'll need help." Echo blinked. "You want to help me?" "No," he said. "I want to see if you're worthy." He stood. Faster than thought, he moved behind her. She turned, blocked, barely. His fist came down. She jumped back. "Fight me, Echo," he said. "Show me what makes you different." For the first time in her life, she hesitated. Then she attacked. A blast of energy burst from her palms. He absorbed it. He laughed. Good. Try again. She moved faster than light. They clashed, thought versus thought. No blood. No screaming, only power. Raw, focused. For hours they fought. Not to kill, but to test. She moved with precision. He moved with instinct. She countered his weight with speed. He countered her mind with madness. Finally, she landed a hit. To his core. He dropped, then laughed again. You've grown. She stepped back, breathing hard. You weren't trying to win, she said. No, he replied. I wanted to see the future. And did you? He smiled. Yes, it's you. He stood slowly. You spared the others. I freed them. Then, free me too, he said. Let me choose. Echo reached out, touched his chest. She linked minds. What she saw was pain, loneliness, memories locked behind rage. She whispered, You're not a king. You're a brother. And with a soft wave of energy, she shut down the pain, not his body, his suffering. He stood tall. Clear-eyed. Silent. Then he knelt. I will follow, he said. From orbit, Kairos watched in disbelief. She beat him, Vera said. No, Kairos replied. She changed him. Back at the ridge, Echo stood beside Unit 1. The soldier walked forward, amazed. What now? She looked at the stars. One more. The last one? She nodded. Double quotes, the one they never dared to wake. In the deepest part of space, far beyond the known maps, a light blinked red. Inside an ancient vault. The last apex opened its eyes. No number, no name, no mercy. Only destruction. And it whispered, Echo. Deep in the blackest corner of the galaxy, where no star shined, a vault opened. The soundless void trembled. The last apex rose from darkness. No armor, no wires, no control chip. It had no number, no label, no programming. It was not born from science, but from fear. The scientists called it the Void Walker. Apex Zero, the last creation. And the only one built without limits. In a hidden lab log. The final warning had been recorded by a long-dead engineer. We tried something different. No commands, no controls. Just instinct. It learns, it hates, it refuses all logic. It moves like thought and strikes like death. We buried it beyond light, beyond reach. If it wakes, pray it doesn't remember why it was made. Now, it was awake. And it did remember. Far away, Echo stood at the top of a snow-covered cliff. The cold wind blew her white hair across her face. Unit 1 stood beside her, quiet, calm, but tense. I feel it, he said. So do I, she replied. The ex-soldier checked his gear, then looked up. What are we feeling exactly? Echo didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, hate. The signal from Apex Zero wasn't like the others. It didn't call. It dared. A pure burst of aggression felt across systems. Every Apex unit, even the ones Echo had calmed, woke from rest. Their bodies trembled, not from fear. From recognition. Their forgotten brother had returned, and he wanted war. In orbit, General Kairos faced the new readings. This one's different, Vera said. Kairos watched the strange signal wave. It doesn't repeat. It doesn't encode. It just screams. Can Echo stop it? Kairos was quiet, then said, This may be the one she can't. Echo boarded the old dropship. Her hands trembled as she set coordinates. Unit 1 looked at her. You're not ready. I have to be, she said. You won't win by force. I'm not going to fight it. Unit 1 raised an eyebrow. Then what? I'm going to talk to it. The ship descended into the dark. The Voidwalker had chosen a world long forgotten, a broken planet, once used for illegal testing. Half the surface was gone, the other half twisted with gravity holes and burned sky. The ship shook as it entered atmosphere. They landed on black rock. No light. No sound. Only presence. Echo stepped out. Each footstep echoed through the planet. Like thunder, Her sensors glitche. Her thoughts shook. Even Unit 1 stepped back. This place doesn't follow rules, he said. It was never meant to, she replied. Then it appeared. No sound, no warning, just there. 10 feet tall. Skin like smoke. Eyes like stars dying. It had no clear form, always shifting. Sometimes a man, sometimes a beast, sometimes something else. Apex Zero. The Void Walker. It didn't roar. It didn't smile. It just looked at her. And she heard its voice. Not in her ears. In her soul. Why did you come? She answered out loud. To end this. It moved closer, twisting like fire. You want peace? Yes. Then you are weak. Suddenly, it lunged out faster than light. Echo dodged, barely. A crack split the ground behind her. Unit -1 stepped forward, but Echo raised her hand. No, she said, I have to do this alone. They circled each other. The Voidwalker struck again, a wave of dark energy tearing through stone. Echo countered, not with power, but with stillness. She focused her thoughts, like a blade, but the Voidwalker only grew stronger. It fed on power. Each time she attacked, it laughed. You are just another cage, it said. They built me to kill. And now, I will kill the last piece of them. Echo fell to one knee, her body smoked. Her systems glitched. It was too strong. No control chip. No logic core. Just rage. But then, she stopped trying to fight. She closed her eyes and let go. Not of her power, but of her fear. She reached deep into this Voidwalker's mind, not to break it. To see it. She saw darkness. Screams, cold labs. Metal cages. No voice. No touch, only pain. Her mind whispered, you were never given a choice. The Voidwalker paused. Something flickered in its shape. Echo stepped closer. You were made without love, without rules. You never asked to be born this way, it hissed. They made me hate. I don't blame you, she said. They made you feel nothing. They made you into this, but you don't have to stay this way. For a moment, silence. Then the monster's form began to flicker, slowly. It stepped back, but then something changed. Its form shook violently. Echo saw it. Another signal. From somewhere else. A hidden command buried deep inside. Not from the lab. From someone watching now. A hidden figure had activated a kill switch. The Voidwalker screamed, not in rage, but in pain. Its body glowed red. Its form broke apart. Unit 1 shouted, it's overloading. Echo ran forward. She wrapped her arms around the shifting figure. Her voice calm, even as her skin burned. I see you. Not the weapon. Not the killer, the being underneath. And for 1 second, the Voidwalker stopped, then whispered back, I don't want to be this. And in a final burst of light, it vanished. No explosion. No sound. Just silence. When Echo opened her eyes, the world had changed. The sky cleared. Ground calmed. Unit 1 helped her up. You did it. No, she said. He chose. Back in orbit, Kairos watched the last signal fade. Vera turned to him. Is it over? Kairos nodded slowly. Maybe. Later, Echo stood alone at the top of the mountain. The others, the surviving Apex units, had come. All of them. They stood around her like silent statues. Free. Not controlled. Not violent. Just alive. Unit 1 walked beside her. They will look to you now. I didn't ask for that, she said. No, he replied. But you earned it. In the sky above, ships moved again. Alien, human, hybrid, but this time they didn't come with weapons. They came to watch, because the galaxy had seen something it never expected. A weapon that forgave. A monster that loved. A being built for war. Who chose peace. Her name was Echo. And now, she was not alone. The galaxy was quiet. For the first time in decades, there was no war signal, no apex alert, No sound of machines tearing through the stars. The threat was over. The last apex had vanished. The ones who remained had stopped fighting, and Echo was gone. On the outer edges of human space, a report came in. Subject Echo no longer traceable. She had disappeared after the fall of Apex Zero. No ship. No signal. No trail. It was as if she had never existed. But the galaxy remembered. Oh yes. It remembered. On a peaceful colony world, children played in the dirt. One of them wore a white cloth over their shoulder like a cape. Another child pointed and asked, "Who are you supposed to be?" The child grinned. "I'm Echo." Across the stars, stories spread of a girl who walked into battle without a weapon, who faced monsters with only her thoughts, who stopped death not by killing, but by speaking. They called her the Mind Blade, the Silent Storm, the one who changed. The Apex, inside a secret base buried deep on an asteroid, General Kairos stood alone in the war room. The screens were dark now. No Apex warnings. No emergency alarms. Only quiet. Captain Vera entered slowly. "They're rebuilding the outer colonies," she said. "Alien alliances are holding." Kairos didn't reply. She stepped closer. "You think she's really gone?" Kairos turned and stared at the stars through the glass. She never wanted fame. Never wanted to rule. Then why vanish? "She did what no one else could," Kairos said. "And maybe she didn't know how to live in a world that no longer feared her." But not everyone believed she was gone. In the black market stations, smugglers whispered that Echo had been seen helping refugee ships escape collapsing wormholes. On the border, Moons, a healer who never showed her face, saved a dying child with just a touch. In the ruins of Apex Labs, doors once locked by code now opened by thought alone. Everywhere she had once walked, strange miracles followed. Unit 1 now lived in silence on a quiet world, covered in green. The other Apex units, no longer weapons, began new lives, in forests, in deep space, among humans, or far from them. But each one kept a promise. If Echo ever calls, we answer. 1 year later, a secret message reached General Kairos, encrypted, untraceable. Only one line. "They're coming." No name. No source. Just fear. He called Vera into his office. "Reactivate the listening posts," he said. "Echo?" "No," Kairos said. "Something else." In deep space, a massive tear had formed in the dark. A rift. A gate. And from it, nothing came, but everyone felt it. Everyone who had once known fear. And in the minds of the old Apex units, a voice whispered, "We are not alone. Something worse is waking." Back on an abandoned planet, long covered in snow and silence, a figure stood at the top of a broken tower. White coat, black boots. No name. Her eyes glowed just once, then faded. Echo looked at the stars. "They're not ready," she said. A voice behind her replied, "Then teach them." It was the ex-soldier, older now, but alive, still following her, still trusting her. She smiled. "You never left. You never told me to." She walked down the broken tower and looked at the horizon. Behind her, a hidden chamber opened. Inside, an ancient chair, a beacon, a map. She touched the screen. Dozens of systems lit up red, and one of them was blinking fast. Unknown. Moving. Large. Alive. She sighed. "Looks like we're not done yet." The soldier laughed. "Didn't think you'd go quietly." "I don't do quiet. Actually," he said, "that's all you ever do." They smiled together. Echo knew she couldn't disappear forever. She wasn't a hero. She wasn't a god. She was just a girl who had been made to fight, and chose something different. But the galaxy wasn't done with her. Not yet. She climbed into the ship's old seat and closed her eyes. A wave of thought moved from her mind, across frequencies, across space. Not a call for help, but a message. "I'm still here." In faraway systems, The apex heard it not as a command, but as a feeling, memory, a spark, and they stood. One by one, they remembered her voice, and they prepared. Echo looked at the soldier beside her. "You ready for one more trip?" He nodded. "Always." The engines hummed. The stars waited. And as the ship vanished into the dark, the galaxy whispered her name again. Echo.